and gents. This is OG Pritz with your projectile motion video notes. These should be watched on the September 23rd. Hopefully you'll have them before September 24th. Let's get started. Things I want to look at today, we're going to look at the two types of projectile motion. We're going to look at the different paths of projectiles and what we can use to talk about those. And we're going to distinguish between moving sideways versus moving up and down. This might seem very easy, but being able to do this well is going to be very, very crucial to your success in this unit. Horizontal and projectile launch. These are your two different types of projectile motion. I'm going to show you a picture of each of these. Horizontal launch looks like this, where you have an object that's moving horizontally off a surface. You get your object, and it's going to move off to the edge of the surface. It's going to go over. Oopsies, that's the wrong object. All right, it moves and moves. Moves, and then it goes down, and it falls, and it falls, and it falls, and it falls, and now it's down on the ground. Okay, that's horizontal launch because it started off moving horizontally on this nice horizontal table. The other type of projectile motion that you get is projectile launch. And projectile launch, your object starts off on the ground, and it gets launched up into the air, and then it goes up as high as it can go, and then it starts coming down back towards the ground, and then it hits the ground again. Right? So that's projectile launch. Starts off on the ground, goes up, comes back down. So again, just to recap, horizontal launch requires the object starts off moving horizontally, usually off of a surface. This off a surface is not a requirement, but we're going to start off with things going off some surface. Your object is always moving sideways and down. Okay, you have some combination of sideways and down. Initially, you're only moving sideways. Projectile launch, you are initially getting launched up at some angle off of the ground. The angles can change, and we're going to look at what that does. And the object is initially moving up and sideways. All right? Horizontal launch will never move up. Projectile launch does move partially up. Projectile launch actually changes direction at the top. Right? In your projectile launch, initially this object is moving up and to the right. Then we get to the top, and now we are moving down and to the right. So you have a direction change in projectile launch that you do not have in horizontal launch. Horizontal launch, you never switch from up to down. You're just to the right and down, 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 down. Boom, on the ground. All right. To diagram these, we want to put a couple different things on here. We want to put height, and we want to put range. Right? Height, it's pretty straightforward. The height of your projectile is right here. This is your height. Boom. And then the range is the horizontal distance that you travel. Okay, range is horizontal distance, and our range here is going to be from here to right there. So if we're using this little object that fell, the range is the distance along the ground that you traveled. Range is always going to be left and right. Height is always going to be up and down. Let's put this in here. Range. This one is pre-labeled. That's why I like it. Here we have the range also along the ground. So it's wherever you started and all the way here, and it's already labeled range. Very nice. Range. The height, you got to make sure you go from highest point straight down. Again, not too bad. You go highest point straight down. The red line is your height, and we already got that labeled also. That's very nice. Right here. Boom. That is your height. Okay. That's all we got to know. So I will see you in class tomorrow.